Meccano, a Crossout video by Dangerously Incompetent. Yes, Meccano. Now bear with me. Now for colonials and young people who don't know what Meccano is, it's like Lego, only more metal! Because it's made of steel. You got girders and plates and nuts and bolts and gears and levers and pulleys, all sorts of stuff like that. There was a saying, if your parents gave you Lego, they wanted you to be an architect. If they gave you Meccano, they wanted you to be an engineer. Because it's like Lego, but more mechanical, even more mechanical. Yeah. You got boxes of it, and it can loads of parts, and you can make whatever you want, and it works. It moves around. You turn the steering wheel, and the front wheels move, and the engine parts move as you push the model along. That sort of thing. When you're starting out with Meccano, it's a bit overwhelming. You've got this box, and on the front is a picture of this fabulous crane that will lift stuff and rotate around and all that. You open up, there's hundreds of little pieces, and you go, how on earth am I supposed to get from these pieces to this working crane? That's where you're given an example. You're given instructions. You follow the instructions step by step, and you build the crane. And then you play with it a while, and then you go, I'm going to take it up. Now I know how the parts go together and work. I'm going to take it apart and make my own thing. I'm going to make a bulldozer. Yeah, there we go, and off you go. So there are similarities between Meccano and Crossout. In Crossout, you've got loads and loads and loads of different parts which you put together however you please, more or less, and you turn them into your own build, which you then hop into, rush into battle, and beat the snot out of the opposition. Fantastic. What a great idea for a game. I loves it. And that's why I'm still here. And similarly, when you're starting out, it's a bit overwhelming. You don't know what a good frame layout is for your wheels. You don't know what parts will enhance the SCARDI and make it more effective. You don't know how to make an effective build. So you go looking for examples. There are no instructions in the game, but I and other YouTubers make videos showing you how to assemble their build and then take it into battle and show you the good points, and if it's a good video, show you the bad points. And that's important because every build is strong in some places and weak in others. And the videos that only show you them killing thousands of people and never losing, those are bad videos. Don't watch them. There are, however, examples in the game. There's an exhibition full of blueprints which you can download and assemble straight away, provided you got all the parts, of course. But the problem with the exhibition builds is there's no guarantee they're any good. Even if they've got loads of downloads and loads of likes, that's not a guarantee that the build itself is effective. Because a lot of these builds are put there by someone who saw a vehicle in battle, thought that's really good, I'm going to copy that, and they've copied it. But they didn't have all the parts, or they didn't have all the upgraded parts, or they didn't fully understand how the build works, and they've missed out some essential part, and they make the build and then they shoved it in the exhibition and it's got downloads and it's got likes, but it's actually a scuffed version of the really good one they saw in battle. So using exhibition blueprints is a bit hit and miss. But wait, there's another place you can get blueprints. You can get the faction blueprints made by the developers. They're going to be pretty good, right? Aren't they? The mortar's just come out. They want you to test drive it in your garage and fire it off. Go, wow, this is fantastic. Look at that damage. This is fantastic. I really have to get a mortar and to use it. But I haven't unlocked crafting it, and I didn't have the resources anyway. But if I buy the battle pass, I can get the upgraded one, and I won't have to farm the resources. Fantastic. Right, I'm off to buy a battle pass. So it's a reasonable assumption that the blueprints, the builds in the faction blueprints, they're going to be pretty good, right? Oh, my sweet summer child. What do the developers know about making a good build? All the faction blueprint builds are scuffed. They're rubbish. They all have a design flaw in them. Take this Justicia build. Its only weapon is the mortar, which is a reload weapon. Not that you'd know from reading the description, which is another user interface fail. It's a reload weapon. And yet it's got three, count them, three not racing wheels, 3 Aquillos. So that's 1200 power score. And they're cooler radiators. They do nothing for the mortar. Why are they here? You've wasted 1200 power score. Are they just trying to get you to buy or get hold of 3 Aquillos before you play this build? They do nothing. And look, I'll prove it. On the left hand side is the version with 3 Aquillos. I put them on the side for easy reference. And on the right hand side, no Aquillos. We shoot, we wait a while, and we see the reload is exactly the same whether you got 3 Aquillos or no Aquillos. It's a reload weapon. For pity's sake. These design faults in the faction blueprints remind me of a story about Meccano I heard some time ago. That is, the instructions in the box sets, particularly the big box sets, always had a mistake in them, and it was put there deliberately. So you'd follow the instructions step by step, and at the end of it, you'd have something that wouldn't work. The crane wouldn't lift things, or something like that. The reasoning being that that would make you a better engineer, because to make it work, you'd have to take it apart, examine it, find the fault, fix the fault, reassemble it, and then you'd have a working version. Which shows that the people who sold Meccano had no idea about the minds of kids. Imagine the following scenario. You're a kid, you've asked for a Meccano set for your birthday, and come birthday, there's a big box and it's wrapped up. Oh, scrabble, scrabble, scrabble. It's the box I wanted. It's the great big giant crane. Fantastic! And then you diligently follow the instructions for hours and hours, taking parts and bolting them together, and you finally finish and it doesn't work. The crane won't lift things. Do you A, take it apart and examine it and find the fault and fix it and reassemble it, and then you've got a working crane, or B, throw the thing in its box and shove it to the back of a cupboard in disgust, where it'll never see the light of day again? It's B, isn't it? Yes, it is. Which goes some way to explaining why you can't find Meccano in the shops anymore. Why Lego won and Meccano lost. Someone tried to revive Meccano a few years ago. Link in the description below. But today, do you see Lego everywhere? Yes. Do you see Meccano anywhere? No. Meccano lost, and these deliberate faults would go some way to explaining why it failed. I wonder whether Targem, the developers of Crossout, are doing the same thing as Meccano did with their instructions. They're deliberately putting in a design flaw in order to try and teach you a lesson about building in Crossout. Is it going to work? Well, imagine the following scenario. You're a new player, you just shelled out for the battle pass, got yourself an upgraded mortar, you want to try it out. So you get the faction blueprint, you assemble it, yeah, off we go, and you're trying to battle, and you do badly, because it's a bad build. Do you A, come back into the garage, examine the build, spot that the Aquillo does not help the mortar, because the Aquillo is a radiator cooler and the mortar is a reload weapon, and then go back into battle and do fabulously because your 1200 power score lower down and your opponents are weaker? Or B, do you get frustrated and uninstall Crossout? Yeah. This is an issue, and that's why I call upon the devs to fix all the scuffed faction blueprints. Putting flaws in there isn't teaching people to become better Crossout builders, it's just dissuading people from playing Crossout. That's it for this video. If you agree with me, hit the like button and show this video to another Crossout player, because lots of views and lots of likes would put pressure on the devs to fix this issue. And I want them to fix this issue because at its core, Crossout is a great game. It deserves to do better than it is doing. And it's issues like this that are holding it back.